Let's queer up the courts. Arsonist who set fire to a Seattle gay bar sentenced to only 4 years in jail. Kalvinn Garcia terrorized the patrons of Seattle, Washington's queer bar on February 24th, 2020, when he set it on fire. Now his crime is getting a slap on the wrist. The 26-year-old pleaded guilty to a hate crime after an FBI agent said Garcia admitted his bias led him to set the fire. Despite the vicious actions and motives, he is only sentenced to 4 years in prison. He faced up to 10 years. Many feel a mere 48 months of prison, followed by 3 years of unsupervised release for such a violent crime, isn't enough to teach anyone a lesson. Speaking at sentencing, Assistant Attorney General Kristen Clarke said Garcia committed an act of violence targeting innocent victims inside the LGBTQ+ bar, a known safe space for the LGBTQ+ community. Clarke expects that the sentence sends the message that every person in the country deserves equal protection, regardless of who they love or how they identify. Well, how refreshing that sounded, the end of that story, the beginning of the story, terrifying.
Yeah.
We, of course, have covered, we were near, and the location where we do queer news was attacked just recently, not to this extreme, but these attacks are happening all across the country. Why? Because of anti-LGBTQ rhetoric that's being blazoned across the media and the airwaves by politicians that are fighting against equality, and they're causing these people who are extremists to come out and take action because they're saying the gay people are coming for you, the trans people are coming for you, so you better stop them. And this is what they're doing to stop them. They're doing acts of violence, and it's scary, and there's going to be a tipping point. I hope that it's going to subside, but we're going, especially going into this election year, I think it's only going to get much worse.
Yeah.
Well, I only hope that Kalvinn finds the love of a good, strong man while he's behind bars, and that his prolapsed anus heals quickly.
Well, while I think we should not make light of sexual assault in prison, 4 years. I'm in the mind that hopefully during this 4 years he will reform. Thank God that he's going to a federal penitentiary where actually they are. That, there's not, hopefully the federal system would actually have rehabilitation efforts instead. I mean, we live in a country where the penal system is designed to punish instead of
rehabilitate.
Yeah, anything.
Yes.
And
it must become more extreme.
Yeah, exactly. So hopefully he, didn't fall into the rabbit hole of hatred over hatred over hatred. I mean, just people in, yeah.
Yeah, and I suspect that I hope I'm wrong, but I suspect we'll probably hear this name again. I really do. The fact that it was given 4 years, I don't know his record. I mean, and the last sentence talks about the Attorney General looking for equality in sentencing. I mean, he probably, if it was his first violent crime, even if it was a hate crime, this probably falls in line with the sentencing guidelines. You would hope that because it was a hate crime, it would have been more. But I mean, he was probably actually treated average, fair. That doesn't make it any better, and he's still a bad person. And the people who drive him, the people who motivate him, because it's one thing to be able to embrace the proud, not embrace, but to wrap our heads around the Proud Boys and to wrap our heads around these hate groups, the Klan. We've seen them, we can verbally talk to them, but it's these lone wolves that are out there, that the Proud Boys, they're driving the conversation. They're the ones talking to the people sitting alone on the dark web in their dark rooms late at night going, yes, my life sucks because of the LGBTQ plus community. That's where they get these ideas. And that's when they say, okay, you know what? They're telling me to do this. I'm going to go out and I'm going to set a fire. Sunshine was egged, like you said, but it was also the person set a fire outside. It didn't catch, it didn't grow into something big, and we were very lucky this time. But the fact is, a fire is a fire. Arson is arson, hate is hate. And we're at the intersection of those violent acts now.
I mean, as someone who used to research extremist groups, that's what they want. They want lone wolves. The Gavin McGinnises, the Anita Bryants, they are not going out there to set queer churches on fire, but they want to inspire someone to. In the lips of TikTok, it's not setting the church on fire, but she will tell you where the drag show is, and nudge, nudge, wink, wink, here's the gas.
Yeah.